Ciao everyone. If you're here in San Diego, California, it's 11 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, a beautiful Saturday. And if you're tuning in, you're here because Executive Chef Filippo Piccini is going to show us an Italian secret. He's going to show us how to make the best risotto from home. So get your notepads ready. If you did get a risotto kit, which many of you did, we had a big turnout for the risotto kits this time, you definitely want to get your kits ready. So bring out your, you had a sheet that came with it. So right now you should be heating up the broth. So the broth should be heating. If you look over here, Connie, follow me. I'm not going to read through it all, but you should have all of these items ready. It was in your sheet of paper. So take a moment now if you haven't done it. For those of you not familiar with the kit, you can see we have amazing saffron that goes in the risotto. This is the incredible Vialone Nano rice. Every single one of these little kernels, no exaggeration, is individually buffed. We have the bone marrow. If you got the kit, it comes with the bone marrow. You're going to see Filippo do. We have the broth. We have the salt. We have the 2 kinds of cheese. We have everything you need, including butter. Anyways, I'll stop talking. You should do a kit next time if you're not this time. But Chef Filippo is ready to go. Just a couple of quick announcements. One, we open today at noon for lunch. We're open the rest of the day. Call us. We'll take good care of you with food and drink. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, we just recently announced, I think on Thursday, our Sunday dinner special. It's a whole chicken, not just a whole chicken, but this crazy man has the chicken cooked in a block. No, a cocoon of salt, literally covered in salt. So tender, so juicy. You're never going to have a chicken like this. Call us. I think we have 12 more of the ones for 2 persons, and we have 14 more of the ones for 4 persons. It will sell out. Give us a call. It's a great thing to have for Sunday. And just so you know, you go home with the chicken in the block of salt. We'll come back to that in a moment. Final thing I'll say, when we go to Filippo, is you're going to notice this time he's not wearing a mask. He always wears a mask while he's here and he's cooking, but it's just too hard. Him and I have talked. Doing the cooking class, talking and everything with the mask on, as you can kind of see with me right now, it's really, really hard. Filippo's not wearing a mask today, but you can be assured that he is going to be wearing a mask when he's here normally, which he does. Anyways, we're all ready to go. Let's cook some risotto.
Hi, good morning everybody. So we went all over the kit. Maybe Randy forgot to mention the shallot, which I suggest you take it out and unwrap right away, because it's one of the first things to do, along with heating up the broth. Put the broth in a saucepan and start heating it up. So let's cut our shallot. Cut the shallot. Can you come a little bit close, Randy? It's pretty easy. Shallot comes like it has already some cut from nature. You see it's layered. So we just slice one way, and then be careful here, and then we go. I'm doing that's the dimension you want. So shallot can be even substitute with onion. We can do both. I like better the shallot because it has a very soft flavor, but it gives me that onion kind of punch. And so I'm gonna do one risotto. You have ingredient for 4 in the kit. So you see my ingredients are very low. It's a quarter of you. Let's start. Let's start with toasting the rice. That's very important. passage to do.
Tell us a little bit about the rice, because this isn't a rice you would just go to Ralph's or Vaughn's, right?
Our choice for the restaurant is Vialone Nano. We love Vialone Nano for the risotto.
Just to say it slower, this is Vialone Nano. Vialano Nano. I'll try to send it in the comments. Very special rice.
Heat it up a little bit. We just need to make the rice hot and toast it. It's not gonna take long. But do that, it's gonna change the consistency. And the Vialone Nano is a quality that cooks faster than the regular rice and keeps the al dente point, which Italians love, a little bit longer than the other. There are so many good rice for risotto, like Riserva San Massimo, Acquerello. You can find many risotto rice if you go in a store that is. You can always come here at Solare and have our Vialone Nano as well. We always take care of you guys.
Yeah, any of the ingredients, as Filippo said, just let us know. If we have it or we can get it for you, we will. So no issue at all. In fact, we have one of our good friends, Jim's going to be by this afternoon to pick up some of the metal bowls we talked about last time. So we were able to get him a set of the metal bowls at a really great price, and he's going to pick those up today.
So now take out the rice. And start with the shallot. We put a little bit of olive oil, grams, gave you the kit, and we put in the shallot. We don't want to burn the shallot, just gently make it kind of dissolve and make a kind of a sauce. Okay.
Oh, it smells great.
So,
I mean, it just genuinely smells fabulous. I'm hungry.
At this point, we add a little bit of the marbled salt. I didn't include that much salt in the kit because Parmigiano Reggiano, we're gonna use as a cheese, is very flavorful, so it's gonna give a bunch of salt. And the broth I gave you is not salty at all. Now I assume you have your broth on the fire.
It should be simmering like yours is.
Sometimes the broth I gave you can be not enough, and you can use some water. Even because this is a concentrate, so the flavor is very intense. It is a beef broth. Okay, so I'll take care of our Parmesan cheese. We're gonna need it soon. Now we can go with these two ingredients. The white wine that I gave you, a little bit. You see now is the right consistency of the shallot. We don't want to burn, but we want him to change color, become kind of translucent. And a little bit of white wine.
Now it really smells good.
And add the rice. So now we start counting. Vialone Nano in.
So this will be enough for one portion.
Yeah.
But for those with the kid, as you said, you'll have enough for 4. So if it seems like he's putting in less rice, just remember you're going to do everything times 4 to a certain extent.
So now take your saffron and put a little of your hot broth.
So all the saffron in the container goes in there.
Yeah, I was generous, so it's gonna taste really
really
Good.
saffron-y.
If you like it, you're gonna love it. So leave it there, infusing, and leave the rice. Now we start adding all the rest of the white wine to the rice, onion, compound. So from now it's gonna take 13 minutes.
13 minutes from now.
Yeah, I like a little bit al dente. Maybe for me it's 11, but you have just to taste. And when is your favorite consistency, you stop there. So the Parmigiano Reggiano, this time is my choice. Always grated by hand. Don't push too much and make it fluffy.
Kara cooks and others say they love saffron.
Come here close, Randy, please. See, don't push on the grater, just make it.
Just kind of the natural weight of the cheese, chef?
Yes, go back and forth, and the cheese, it takes a little bit longer, but in the pan you're gonna have a better result.
It makes it more fluffy.
Yeah, it melts better, more everywhere. It doesn't make any. Now, that's enough for one. You go ahead and you do a portion for four.
There's
So
the
you
little
grate all the cheese again.
Vialone Nano rice.
Now we start adding the broth. We heated up the broth so we don't stop the cooking. The rice is cooking, you won't stop it. And enough to cover it. Okay.
Just want to say hi to John and Sue, Bob. We have some friends from up north California.
So, you might notice that you have 5 bone marrow, and this recipe is for 4 person. Because one, I will take quarter of one of those marrow. We need it in the rice, melted.
So at this point, the bone marrow is still cold or cool, so it's not liquidy at all. It will be soon though.
It's an extra flavor that we add to our rice. It's actually the traditional way. You can put it at the very start with the onion or the shallot in this case, or wait and make it very thin and put at the end like a butter. Just be sure that it's cooked. It's gonna take, in this way, it's gonna take seconds.
Just so you know, Chef, your amazing wife, Valeria, is joined. She's waving hello.
Ciao amore. So, we almost there. As you see, it's a very simple recipe. If you follow all the steps, you're gonna have an amazing risotto. Little tip, if you put the saffron in the water the day before with cold water, you're gonna have the same results. It's gonna extract totally, completely the color and the flavor. So at that point, you can even strain it. Today we're gonna do it, since we did with the broth hot, it's already extracting everything, and we're gonna put everything. So even the pistils, that's the word, Randy?
Yeah, the pistils, that part of the flower where all the happiness is.
Okay. So keep going. You see the rice is drinking all the wine and the broth, and it's getting dry again. Just add more broth.
Just to say hi to a couple people. Udi, great to see you. Keep dancing. Deborah, I need to call you. Sorry, I forgot to call you yesterday. Ellen, I hope that your leg feels better. Okay. It's terrible. And Ralph and Betty, I hope you enjoyed dinner yesterday. Everything is smelling amazing. Risotto bubbling away. Can't wait till the saffron goes in. Can't wait till you guys see this bone marrow sizzling. As I said, the bone marrow comes in the kit, which is a really cool thing because, you know, it's just not that easy to go grab some bone marrow. Not hard either, but. Jim, good to see you online. We'll see you this afternoon when you stop by. And Gail and Bruce, of course.
Make some space here, this crowded stool.
Your friend Marco Maestosa is online too, Filippo.
Ciao Marco. Okay, the rice keep cooking. A little bit broth every time you see that it's getting dry. And remove eventual rice that is stick on the rim.
For those doing it at home, I'm zooming in so you can kind of see the consistency you should have at this point. Again, you're going to have 4 times as much rice as this.
Okay. So now we're gonna take care of the bone marrow. So that's where the other olive oil goes.
There's a question about what kind of risotto we're making. So we have a traditional Milanese style with a few little twists, but it has saffron. We're also going to be making it with bone marrow and shallots and more. So that's the type of risotto. In the future, Mark and Valentina, if you want to get a kit, you can be making it at home at the same time. So
yeah, that's actually a pretty traditional recipe, especially for the bone marrow. Risotto alla milanese and risotto allo zafferano is often people think is the same thing. There are a few differences, but besides the shallot, they didn't change anything from the original recipe. The bone marrow goes in the risotto alla milanese. It doesn't go in the risotto allo zafferano that is usually made with a veggie stock, and we have a broth, a beef broth. That's the Milanese style. It's kind of a different, richer risotto. We often serve here at Solare even the risotto with zafferano. But today I want to show you a traditional recipe. So take your bone marrow, heat up a little bit of olive oil. The rest you didn't put on the shallots. Get enough, and your bone marrow you need to sear on all the 3 layers exposed. There you go. Seconds it's gonna start sizzling. Okay, our rice. Probably the last. Again, if you finish your rice, add on the pot a little bit of water. It's gonna be totally fine. Now it's time to try the consistency. Still hard. Almost there.
the sizzling of the bone marrow. Nice. For those of you that are making it at home, it's a really great experience. Hearing the sizzling of the bone marrow, the smells, you have the broth, you have the rice, you have the saffron, I mean the mixture of all of them.
So at this point, if you have a favorite herb, you can put on this oil and very quickly let it stitch on the bone marrow. I will do like nude and pure because we want to really taste the marrow. Okay, nice. Just little bit. We're ready. We're using olive oil, so don't get crazy with the oil temperature. Try to keep it on 160. That means if it starts smoking, turn off the fire. Hold the 3 layers.
Remember, if you're doing this at home, you should have at least 4 bone marrow going. So,
Yeah, you have more than me to take care.
yep.
One thing I really like is put some Maldon salt as soon as I finish to sear the 3 layer.
If you're not able to hear Filippo on that, he really likes, for a flaky sea salt, he really likes the Maldon sauce. Maldon. Comes from England. So clearly there's some great Sicilian sea salts from Trapani and so on. But he's just a big fan of the Maldon salt. And that's the go-to that we're using right now at Solare. That's what we include in the kit.
Every salt is different, and for the marrow I think that the flakiness gives a little crunchy that is missing in the marrow otherwise.
There's a question whether you should be searing all 4 of the bone marrows at the same time. The answer is yes.
Yes.
They should all be in that pan at the same time, kind of lift them on their sides at the same time.
So now my rice is cooked. You try yours and you decide if it's time to turn off the fire. That's what we want to see. And we put the marrow inside like butter. That's now we allow a little bit of fire again to cook the marrow. You adjust the creaminess of your risotto, but think about that we still have to add the butter and the parmesan cheese. So see, that's where you wanna be with the marrow.
Maybe do that again and hold it steady for a second. Keep it there for a minute. Thank you.
There you go. Now it's time for the butter. I waited for you, so all the butter goes in. Turn off the fire and start what we call mantecatura, which you can do with a wooden spoon or you.
Mantecatura is basically the Italian term for this last stage of the constant
Butter and cheese
Yep.
is gonna melt inside
and
you
the
shake
constant
it, you
stirring, right?
Yeah. Take out the starch from the cereal. Now the rice is cooked. And we want to let the saffron in. With all the pistils.
Wow. Look at the colors.
leave infusing for a couple of minutes.
So it's not on any fire, it's just
Cover it.
sitting. Yep. Cover it, no fire, let it sit.
Now the bone marrow.
Looking good. And just as a reminder, we open today at noon. We would love to take care of you with wonderful Solare food for lunch or for dinner tonight. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I'll talk more about it in a few minutes, but for tomorrow, for our big Sunday dinner, we are doing a whole chicken for either 2 or 4, cooked in a block of salt. You just have to see it to believe it, and try it.
So you punch your marrow and you see some blood coming out. That means that it goes back to cook. It's not cooked enough. What I'm doing in this case, you can put in the oven if you have it on, or just turn on your fire and let it sit here.
Nice.
So you heat it up the marrow from the other side. We sear on the 3 layers.
So you poke it with a toothpick. If a little bit of red comes out, which it did, it means it's just not quite ready. I don't know why, but that just looks really cool. What a way to start a Saturday. Oh, the fine folks at Fitament Farms joined. We used to get quite a bit of supplies from there. I'm not sure if we still are. We have to, Chef, let's look into that. We should see how the guys are doing up there. They were a fabulous, fabulous supplier. Thanks for joining.
Now all our flavor should blend it together, and our risotto is the right consistency. You see, we call a longa. Can you come really close?
Yep.
Onda means wave, and you see
Look at that saffron.
the wave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back a little bit. I think the wave will be better if I do that again. I was a little too close maybe. Yeah.
Now it's time to plating.
So for those of you who have been making it at home, you are just a few short minutes away from trying this delicacy. Hopefully you have a good, oh, Filippo, real quick. So in case everybody doesn't know, Filippo is a trained sommelier in Italy. What would you recommend that what type of wine? Would it be a Nebbiolo, Sangiovese? What are you thinking?
I will go with a white.
A white wine with this one. Nice.
I see something there that can do the job.
Would you do like a Vermentino?
I don't know what you have on your left, but
I'm gonna have to slide a glass of wine to you.
so there you go.
Wow.
That's,
That is a nice portion. Notice, sir, everybody at home, you have 4 times that much. So this is a big, wonderful, delicious lunch or dinner you're about to have. There goes the bone marrow on top. Look how sizzly it all is. And then at least for me, I started eating that bone marrow right away. You don't want it to get sort of solid again. It's fabulous when it's just almost like the texture of a butter about to totally melt. Risotto Milanese. That is fabulous.
that's it.
Chef, amazing. Before we sign off, do you have any other words you'd like to share about different kinds of risottos? And maybe spend a moment seriously on wine pairing.
Yeah. So
Oh, we
I
have
something here.
Connie went and got both Chef and I a glass of a delicious white wine.
What you brought?
Chardonnay.
That's perfect.
Yes.
You see?
Buttery.
She know what buttery of the Chardonnay and butter in the risotto Milanese.
Yep. Is that what you'd recommend though?
I would recommend definitely a white wine. Maybe Chardonnay. I think is a perfect pairing. Yeah, it's gonna clean your mouth from the marrow. Very, not a red for sure.
Yeah, maybe just a couple.
Not a Pinot Grigio or a Pinot Noir. A really light one.
A very light Pinot Noir, yeah. Italian style, European style.
Maybe a Narosa wine, the Nero Mascalese. That might not be bad. Or you think it's too heavy?
I think it's gonna cover a little bit.
Too heavy.
It's a very light flavor, the
Yeah.
saffron, and it needs something to wash out because we did the Milanese, remember, not
Yep.
the risotto zafferano.
Yeah.
That says a beef broth, bone marrow, so it's very, even if we don't put that much butter as the other one, it's gonna come out with a very rich flavor. And the saffron is instead very delicate, so we don't want to cover it. We have to find a balance between those two components of the dish, the greasiness, the saffron, so don't cover it, but wash it out, all the grease.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Good choice.
Thank you.
And remember that the type of rice you reuse is very important, and you can experiment with a lot of different kinds. But if you're sort of a quote unquote average American, you're like, rice is rice, you just go buy rice, that's it. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Just like if you're a wine lover, you love wines from maybe like a single vineyard property or something like that. That's how Italians view the rice for risotto. This Vialone Nano rice that we're using is actually one very specific plot of land in the region of Lombardia, just south of Milan. They've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's a very, very special thing.
So since I didn't wear the mask, I had to eat it myself.
I guess so. I know
That
somebody
was
that
the
can.
key.
I know somebody that can make me another one though. Is it good?
I love it.
Yeah.
You tell me yours.
I'm gonna have to find a chef who can make me one in a few minutes. But so chef, before I let you go, first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank you, chef, for the amazing job. Just spend a moment talking about the whole chicken cooked in a block of salt. Just spend 1 minute before we sign off.
Yeah, that's a very old recipe as well. Contended as always between France and Italy. So of course we right there wrong, but that's as always is diffused in France, in southern France, and in all Italy. Cooking in salt gives to the meat. First thing, you don't add any other grease, so there is only the salt that keeps kind of a camera. It was a primordial sous vide technique. So basically, you seal, make a camera where the chicken cooks with its own grease. So the grease on the chicken is only under the skin. With the result that when you open the camera, we take out the skin because it's almost melted, and all the flavor it stays there, so it concentrates in some way. It's a long cooking time because it's 1 hour 40, 1 hour 20, depends on the size of the chicken. We have kind of 3 pound, so it fits easily 2 hungry people, maybe a whole 4 people family. And yeah, I love it. I love because it's fulfilled with your favorite herbs. My favorite herbs in this case. You can fulfill with thyme, rosemary, garlic, as I did, or you can go with oregano and onion and chile. I don't know. But I'm from Tuscany, so I use thyme, rosemary, garlic, all inside, 2 lemon. It's kind of soup. So we have to close it up, all the holes, and that's it. I don't know what else to say. It's delicious. I love it.
Yeah, you're not going to have a more juicier tender chicken ever. And the interesting thing too, before we totally wrap up here, is I really hope you do order this, because not only is it delicious, but it's a fun experience. Because when you come here to Solare to pick it up tomorrow, it comes in the block of salt. You leave with the chicken in a block of salt. You drive home with it in the block of salt. So you get to have the experience of opening it up, the flavors, the steam, and everything else with it. We're going to give you some pans so it's not too messy, but it's both delicious and an experience. I highly recommend calling. It's definitely going to excuse me, it's definitely going to sell out at some point today. So give us a buzz, reserve one. You're going to not regret it. It's a great experience. Chef Filippo, thank you. As always, you are a magician in the kitchen. I know a lot of people had the kits. I hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback on the kits. And we'll be here again next Saturday. Can you believe it? It's Memorial Day weekend already. And we're going to be announcing soon our Memorial Day weekend dinner special. And I'm just going to give you a clue. Just think Tuscany meets baby back ribs. And we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much, Filippo. Thanks, everybody.
Ciao.
Happy Saturday.
See you next Saturday.